Tears flow as Triple H mourns the passing of Paul Heyman. A heartbreaking WWE farewell. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. This is not the kind of video we ever hoped to make. The wrestling world has suffered a loss so monumental, so heartbreaking, that it will echo through generations of fans, performers, and everyone who ever felt the magic of WWE. Paul Heyman, the advocate, the wise man, the creative genius, the master of the mic, has passed away. And no one is feeling that loss more deeply than WWE's chief content officer, Triple H. In this emotional tribute, we take you through Triple H's heartfelt response, their history together, the impact Heyman had on WWE and the industry as a whole, and the void left behind in the wake of this devastating loss. This is Paul Heyman's legacy through the eyes of a grieving friend, leader, and fellow legend. The WWE Universe stood still. On what should have been a regular Monday morning, WWE released a shocking press statement. Paul Heyman, aged 59, had passed away unexpectedly due to complications following a medical emergency at his home. Within minutes, the internet was flooded. Hashtags trended worldwide. Wrestlers from every generation, promotions across the globe, and fans of every era expressed their grief and disbelief. But amid all the tributes, one voice was silent until now. Triple H, Paul Levesque, took to the ring on Monday Night Raw in a moment that will forever be remembered in WWE history, not for its spectacle, but for its raw emotion. With no entrance music, no lights, no pyro, Triple H walked down the ramp slowly, head down, suit on, eyes heavy. The crowd, already in tears, stood in silence. This wasn't a promo. This was a eulogy. "There are no words," he began, "but I'm going to try for him." Triple H's voice cracked multiple times. He didn't hide it. His pain was visible, etched into every word he spoke. Paul Heyman wasn't just a manager. He wasn't just a promoter. He was a visionary. He changed this business, and more importantly, he changed people. He changed me. He paused, looked up at the ceiling. The camera zoomed in. A tear visibly rolled down his cheek. "I lost a brother. We all did." He talked about Heyman's brain, how no one thought faster, talked louder, or dreamed bigger. He talked about the risks Heyman took with ECW, how he fought for talent no one else would touch, and how he never stopped believing in the underdog. He made stars. He made stories. He made moments. Moments that made us. And finally, Triple H held up a photo, an old backstage candid from 2002, Heyman laughing with young Brock Lesnar, with a grinning Triple H photobombing in the background. "Goodbye, Paul. I'll keep fighting for the dream, for your dream. And I promise, I'll make sure your legacy lives on forever." Triple H and Paul Heyman didn't start as friends. In fact, early in their careers, they often clashed. Heyman, the brash New Yorker who ran ECW on pure adrenaline and chaos, and Triple H, the rising WWE star groomed in the structured machine of Vince McMahon's vision. In the early 2000s, Heyman and Triple H butted heads creatively. Heyman wanted edge and unpredictability. Triple H, a student of psychology and storytelling, wanted layered narrative. The friction was real, but so was the respect. It was during the SmackDown 6 era, with Heyman as head writer and Triple H running the main event scene on Raw, that both men saw the other's brilliance. They realized they weren't opponents, they were counterparts. By 2010, when Heyman returned to WWE to work with Brock Lesnar again, their relationship shifted. Triple H, now in corporate, began working directly with Heyman on major stories, from Lesnar's feuds with Cena, Undertaker, Roman Reigns, to the Bloodline saga that would define an entire era. They grew close, very close. Paul became one of Triple H's most trusted voices backstage. And in return, Triple H gave Heyman the creative freedom he always craved. The two built WWE's modern storytelling together, piece by piece. No one can talk about Paul Heyman's legacy without mentioning the Bloodline. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the greatest modern storyline in professional wrestling. And at the heart of it all, Heyman, the wise man, the whisperer, the puppeteer, Triple H once said in an interview, "We gave Heyman a blank canvas, and he painted a masterpiece." Behind the scenes, it was Heyman who pitched the character evolution for Reigns. It was Heyman who crafted the quiet manipulation, the simmering betrayal, the cinematic pacing that made Bloodline segments feel like prestige drama. And Triple H gave him the tools, the freedom, the time, the support. Together, they trusted each other more than most creative teams ever have. The Bloodline story not only revived WWE's weekly programming, it redefined long-term storytelling in wrestling. And now, knowing it was Heyman's final act, it hits even harder. He told me this was the one, Triple H revealed during a post-Raw press conference, eyes welling again. He said, "Let me cook, and I'll give you the greatest story this company has ever told." And damn it, he did. The locker room was shattered. Stars from every generation spoke out. Roman Reigns posted a simple black screen with the words, "Thank you, wise man," in bold white. Brock Lesnar, notoriously private, flew into Stamford quietly and spent hours with Triple H reminiscing about Paul. Becky Lynch tweeted, "No one ever believed in me the way Paul did. He once told me I was fire before I believed I could even spark." Sami Zayn shared, "I owe my WWE career's second life to Paul Heyman. I'll never forget his guidance." Even legends from rival promotions sent tributes. Tony Khan, Cody Rhodes, even CM Punk, who had a complicated relationship with Heyman, said, "He changed everything. He made you believe." But none took it harder than Triple H. Sources backstage said he spent most of the day in Heyman's old office, sitting, silent, replaying voice memos Heyman had sent about Bloodline ideas, future NXT plans, and jokes only the two of them understood. In a tearful backstage segment recorded but not aired, Triple H revealed their last phone call, just 3 days before Heyman's passing. "He called me, said he had this wild idea about Solo Sikoa turning on Roman in a way no one would see coming," Triple H said. "He was so excited. I told him, 'Brother, we'll do it your way.'" As always, they ended the call with a laugh, a promise to meet up after SummerSlam to begin planning the next arc of the story. "I never got that meeting," Triple H whispered, "but I'll finish the story for you, Paul. Every page, every chapter. I owe you that." On Friday Night SmackDown, WWE aired a 10-minute tribute video, narrated by Triple H himself. It covered Heyman's journey from a teenage photographer sneaking into Madison Square Garden, to ECW's fearless leader, to Brock's advocate, to Roman's wise man. Without Paul Heyman, there is no future. Paul Heyman's voice will never truly be silenced. Not while there are wrestlers who still dream wild. Not while there are fans who still chant louder. And not while Triple H, his brother in this business, carries that legacy forward. In the end, wrestling isn't about belts or contracts. It's about moments, about emotions, about connection. And no one gave us more of that than Paul Heyman. Thank you, Paul. From Triple H. From all of us. Rest in power, wise man.